Okay. Let's do the add thing. Oh crap. I think I'm coming down to something. Hello Lunatic, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hello, hello. Let me do the socials thing. Dance of the socials. Doing alright? That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Oh, already got plans? Already got plans? That's cool. Man, I wanna see if they will actually find a way to make people no longer use Talisman Sinclair. BRB? Okay. Actually, BRB as well. Dun dun dun. What? Wait, it's almost over? It's almost over? We can start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hello everyone! How's everyone doing today? Hello Lunatic. Hello everyone. Hope you're all doing good today. Today I'm working on a commission. I am working on a commission for Red. And it's coming along pretty nicely. There is one frame mistake here. Interesting. I wonder how this happened. Let's fix that real quick. Sometimes I really wonder. Some of these happen. Must have been like an overlap or something. There we go. Perfect. There we go. This is looking pretty good. But this is not the full commission. The full commission is basically it's inspired in .hack, and I have to do. I did already the base sprites, and now there are some assets that I need to do. The number one being this Chaos Gate. Now, I didn't make one this big, especially because it's meant to be like behind the character, not like completely in front of it, so I didn't think I'd have to make one round this big. It would probably not fit very well. But because I'm kind of a dumbass, I decided to do the gate without looking at the sprite, and I ended up doing a dwarf one. Then, trying to correct my mistake, I decided to extend the Tingus, and I took like the whole morning to do this, and it looks like it doesn't look very good. So now, this is the new plan. This is the new plan. I am going to take this, that's double size, I double size it, right? But like I said, mixels are a thing that isn't very good to have in your pieces. So what I'm going to do is I double the size and then I'm gonna edit the mixels out. Essentially doing like a beautification of this, and then it will be the right size. And then it will be the right size. But right now, we need to take care of the mixels. Why? Because these pixels are twice as big as they need to be. And that means I need to edit them. I need to edit them so they are not ugly. I don't want them to be ugly. I want them to be pretty. You know? It's interesting that the single pixel became two. Oh well, I think it should be fine. Anyways, here's how we start. Basically, yeah, it's about rounding things up and cutting off edges. So it's gonna look nice. It's gotta look nice. It's gotta look nice. Hey Red Eye, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Check this out, check this out, check this out, check this out. This is the idle animation. Very deluxe, by the way. Hello, Ascaviti. Welcome to the stream. What do you think? For a totally... Hold up. Just a second. Looks good as always. Thank you. You know what? This is gonna take. This takes too much for the gag. I was gonna draw her real quick here, but let's actually work. That actually reminds me another thing that I need to work on before I forget. We need to make. Add her later. Fair enough. Fair enough. We need to make your... Hold up just a second. I just need to check something real quick. No, this is fine. This is fine. Okay. There we go. Because I need to add the red eye jewel, otherwise. I nearly forgot about that because I was too busy with the Chaos Gate shenanigans. But yeah, the gem kind of follows the cleavage line here. It rests very comfortably. Did it become more pink? I feel like it has become more pink since the last time, since the last ref sheet, come to think of it. I used to do it a little bit more red like this. Na, 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 na. So, Momochi came down with the flu recently. Poor thing. But as a couple, it worries me because whenever she comes down with something, it probably means I'm gonna catch it too. It's a matter of time when you share your bed with someone else, you know? Your bed and your life. Can I add effect? So yeah, I'm starting to feel my throat becoming a bit raspy. Wish me luck, chat. Wish me luck. Because I can still get lighter. There we go. I think. Fortunately. A little bit more like this. Like, animating that Chaos Gate is gonna be quite the challenge. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Instead, I do it, and I don't back out from my promises. Gonna be fun. You know, oh, I really gotta stop being like, there was this one VTuber who used to be popular. I wonder what happened to them, and then look up the name. There's always something bad. Uh, uh, like goddamn. Goddamn. What do you think, Red? Does the gem look alright? Because if it looks alright, it's going for a ride. Nice, nice, nice. Then let's take it for a ride. I'm gonna go. Whee. Boing. Heartbreak, it keeps on coming. Here we go. This. Oh. This is 15 frames bounce. This is like HD bounce. Let's see. I did do this a little bit wrong. Oh. Okay, now let's see how this works. So I think this here might be a little too. There we go. Yep, I think it looks good. I think it looks good. Okay, so now, like I was saying, I was a bit of a dumbass. When I did the first Chaos Gate sprite, ended up doing it this size, which doesn't match the size of the sprite at all. So then I decided to try to just amplify it, and it looked really wonky. So now what I'm gonna do is I double the size of the sprite, and I'm gonna take out the pixels that look bad, basically. We are revamping it. We're revamping the sprite. So this should look sharper. Or just like this is fine. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Hold up. Let's do this. There we go. Here we are. You know, I'm gonna wait until Lunatic comes back because he actually asked me something on Discord to discuss. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Aska. Thank you, thank you. To discuss on today's stream. I am a big fan of an old manga that in the US is known as Battle Angel Alita. Over here, it was also known as Battle Angel Alita because of a bootleg version. Hey Medina, how are you doing? Hello everyone, hope you're all comfy. I'm just quick hopping to say hi, I have some other stuff in 10 minutes. Okay, hope you have fun in whatever you're doing. And also, hope you had good lasagna. But yeah, I really like this old manga called, that was called Battle Angel Alita, but the original name was Hyper Future Vision Gun. Very tired, but otherwise thank you. And no lasagna, but pizza and fish. Nice. I'm doing good. I might be coming down with a flu soon because Momochi got a flu, which is why she didn't stream yesterday. So I am looking forward to that. Because when you're a couple, if one of you gets sick, the other one soon follows, usually. Yeah, I hope so too, but I can kind of feel a slight bug on my throat. But it could just be the dry weather, because I have allergic rhinitis, I think it's the name. So whenever the weather starts to get a little bit changes radically, if it's like too humid or too little humid, I will immediately have flu-like symptoms like sore throat and sneezing and stuff like that. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. But since she got sick, I'm like, uh-oh. Because Momochi usually has a sturdier... She has usually a sturdier immune system than mine. But I don't know. I've been eating well lately. I've been exercising a lot more. Maybe in that regard, I might start to be getting like a more immunity. I hope so. We'll see. Power of the Princess in Gardenia, the poor ninja wolf boy. Momochi is resilient. Growing up in Gardenias, it seems it's not very different than growing up in a farm, essentially. Like the other day, we were walking our doggo, and Momochi started staring at these leaves, right? Of a tree branch, a small tree. And I'm like, oh, what are you looking? And then she points at it, and it's just full of like these tiny caterpillar thingies. Thank you for... My immune system appreciates your support, Medina. My immune system appreciates your support. Such a Momochi, how adorable. And then she's like, hey, check this out. And then she picks up a little stick and she starts poking the little critters gently, and they raise antennas, and she's like, look how cool, they have little antennas, they're showing their antennas. It got lewd. She loves animals, she loves messing with animals. Very Momochi to poke random bugs until they show antennas. It is very her. Momochi picked the princess, but she's definitely not the spoiled princess archetype. I guess you could say that's tomboyish. Is that tomboyish? I think that's tomboyish, right? She could also be farm-grown Momochi. She could. That would be a cute outfit, though, come to think of it. That could really be a cute outfit. Funnily enough, there is a webtoon where Princess actually is similarly a lot more grounded. Ah! That kind of sounds like it could be cute. Could be a cute read. Yes. I really appreciated the webtoon discovery that we did. That was really fun. We need to do that again. It was a lovely string. You found at least one you were into, as far as I remember. Yeah, I really did. Like, I liked most of them, really. The Everything is Fine one was really unsettling. Really unsettling. You know what we watched the other day? We watched something I don't usually watch, which is horror movies. I was commenting to Momochi about a video that I saw that referenced an old horror movie, and she wanted to watch it with me, so we watched it together. It was John Carpenter's The Thing. Indeed, it made it in such a good way. It was. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard about this movie. It's supposed to be it's meant to be pretty famous. Did you enjoy The Thing? I did actually. There was like some gore, but like it wasn't too overly gory, and a lot of it was very reminiscent of like anime body horror, which I am more accustomed to. Reminded me a little bit of that other... There's an anime called Parasite, right? The body horror moments reminded me a lot of that anime. Prefer this kind of horror? Yeah, there were, come to think of it, there were like 0 jump scares. It was very much a building dread kind of situation. It was all about building up dread in that hold up, I think I can't use this back part here. Yeah, we're gonna have this, the inner ring we're gonna have to redo, because it's gonna be too weird if I don't. Yeah, but like, I thought it was pretty interesting. It was very fascinating, like following the characters panicking while trying to go through the process of discovering what the monster was all about, what it was trying to do, how it operated. Everyone crashing the fuck out for very good reasons. It was really, really good. It was really, really good. I remember that these movies are about the characters, not the monsters. Same with zombie movies. Yeah, but I feel like the zombie movies, they... how do I put it? I feel like they rely too much on that whole... The real monster were the humans we made along the way. You know? They're very pessimistic. While I didn't really get that from the thing, if that makes any sense. Like, sure, everyone is freaking the fuck out and being like, who could be the thing, but and having trust issues, but like everything felt 1000% valid, you know? Yeah, I'm having trust issues. There's one guy I thought was completely okay. Just start retorting and just start contorting and grew a mouth out of their belly and ate another guy's hand. Wouldn't you be? So it all felt very, very real, you know? Whereas, I don't know, like, usually in the zombie movies, they do that thing where, like, some guy tries to become like a cult, tries to turn the zombie survivor camp into a cult or something like that. And in the end, right, the characters all end up putting their heads together, realizing how bad the situation was. And they decide to do the altruistic thing, actually. They decide to do the noble thing. And be like, hey, we're kind of fucked. But if we let this thing run, then everyone is fucked. We can't let we can't let that thing win, you know? They're they're very heroic. They're very heroic, actually. All the bickering aside, they become very heroic, and I thought it was like very neat, actually. Which is my main gripe with zombie movies. I don't like what's the name of that series? The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead too much because of that. Another. What are you drawing, by the way? It looks very cool. Here. I am drawing what is known as a Chaos Gate. It's a transportation thing for the Dot Hack series. Basically, there's like a MMO. It's the game that simulates an MMO that also has an anime that's about MMOs. And this is basically the thing that they use to teleport to the dungeons. I'm gonna animate this thing, I'm gonna make it spin. I don't know how, wish me luck, but I'm gonna make it spin. Isn't it, Red commissioned me to do this, basically. Also, I don't know if you remember who Atoli is, but I put red in Atoli's Clotus. This sprite is top notch, by the way. Thank you, dear Commissioner. I got to go now. Maybe join later. Thanks so much. Have a lovely time, Kimba. All right, Medina. Have a good one. Thank you. Thank you very much for dropping by, too. I really appreciate it. No, I now realize I kind of fuck it up with the reflection shines. They should be on the side. They should follow the light, you know? I just noticed that they're not doing that. Let's fix this. Man, this music is so worth trying to sell you a house. And you will never convince me otherwise. Join us in this luxurious house tour, where the house has 5 pools, one for each of your Labradors that will swim on their pools and then jump right back into your sofa, making it soggy and crusty. Good thing you have money to buy another 10 of them. You know, it's that kind of music. It's that kind of music. Sort of luxury resort kind of music. Hey Super Fudge, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good today. How are you? I am fixing my past mistakes right now. I'm doing good, I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good too. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, cause I meant to make the sprite the background thing fit this sprite, but I made it too small. I made it like this. So I doubled it in size, and now I'm like carving out from the extra pixels what it's supposed to actually look like. And when we're done with it, I'm gonna make it spin. It's gonna be fun. Hope you're doing good. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so this part here, we're gonna have to do this one by one. do 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 do. here. Huh. So now let's see here. Okay. Let me do it like this. Here we go. Maybe we need to do this rounder. Here we go. Thank you for the pet. Thank you for the pet. Super Fudge, I really appreciate it. The roughest part about doing this is that it will probably look a little bit worse before it starts looking better. Because I have to edit a lot of parts. And while I'm editing these parts, it's gonna start to look off. Because until it's fully polished, it looks weird. But we're already getting the shape. We're already getting the proper shape. I just need to make sure certain things are in order. There we go. Oh yeah. It's looking pretty round. It's looking pretty round. That is good. That is good. Man, I am cooking with this commission. Like, look at this. Brand new sprite size. I think I can... I don't remember how big the sprite was. 173? I think my model is shorter than the sprite, actually. I could probably use the style to make pixel models. Would probably look pretty good too. Let's see here. All right. So it's symmetrical. Good. So now what we need to do is fix this area here. Uh-oh. That ain't fixing, Chief. Let's go. But yeah, so I don't think it's a mystery to anyone in this channel that I am a big fan of Battle Angel Alita, aka Hyper Future Vision Gun, as it's the original Japanese name. I'm still surprised to this day. This is a series that has gotten a movie adaptation, but no anime. What we have is an OVA. All we have is a single OVA. Single OVA, no actual anime adaptation. And I really wonder why. It's weird that it has a Hollywood movie, but no anime. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Now that I think about it. How did this happen? I wonder if there's like... is there like some legal issue? There's gotta be like some legal issue, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's gotta be some sort of legal issue. There's no other explanation for this. And the show is pretty interesting. The anime series, not the anime series. There's no anime series. The manga. The manga is pretty interesting. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. The manga is pretty interesting because it has gun in the name, but for 90% of the show, the main character doesn't use weapons at all. And there was actually an interview with the author about that. And funnily enough, this happened because of the editor. Au contraire, Super Fudge, the mangaka actually wanted guns. The thing was, the editor advised against it because it's like, I believe he would the actual thing. Oh, an anime? Maybe. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that could be it. But there was an OVA, so I don't know. They gotten close enough to an anime because they had the OVA. And it's definitely one of those shows that originally it kind of makes sense it doesn't have an anime because it's like very overly violent. And overly violent and edgy stuff way back in the Wens was pretty much restricted to OVAs. Which is actually why I think in the early 90s and 80s, manga and anime had a reputation for being ultra violent. Did you know that? That anime was considered ultra-violent and extremely edgy? And that influenced, out of all things, the Brazilian Mega Man manga. That thing was gruesome and edgy because that's what the authors were raised with when it came to manga. And anime in general. It's pretty interesting. I uncovered so much lore that I didn't know about the Mega Man manga. The Brazilian one, of course. If you've never been down that rabbit hole before, it's pretty funny. I do on occasion go down that rabbit hole. Over on Discord streams. If people ask me to. But anyways, Hyper Future Vision Gun was funny. Because it has gun in the name, but it didn't like have actual pistol fighting on the protagonist side. The protagonist instead used made up martial arts called Panzerkunst. Yes, it had a German name because German names were considered just the coolest thing ever by Japanese people at the time. Actually, I think they still do consider it the coolest thing ever. Welcome back, Lunatic. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good. So what we're making today? We're making a Chaos Gate. We're making a Chaos Gate. Basically, Red wants to play Dot Hack. So already did this loop, and now we're making the Chaos Gate. Guess what? No idea. Tell me, Lunatic, tell me. What? Oh my god, 43 months. And Boop, what? Thank you for all the support. Oh my god. Oh my god, how long? Where does the time go? Where does the time go? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support. I can literally say I really appreciate all the support throughout the years. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Lunatic. Thank you. Aha! I knew something was very slightly off. There we go. Everything was 1 pixel. Indeed, the year in plural now is possible. It is. And it's all thanks to grammar. Thanks to grammar, I can use plurals every day. Oh my god. Do you think there was a TV show where there's an old lady who corrects people when they speak wrong and her name is Grandma Grammar? And every time she corrects someone, the children have to go, "Thanks, Grandma Grammar." Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Lunatic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. The Grandma Grandma! Grandma, gonna make you spell right. Grandma, won't miss a tooth for grammar something. Yeah, I don't got anything for the music. I got nothing for the music. Grandma. Here we go. There we go. You know, there were so many... I grew up with so many weird children's shows. Honestly, this wouldn't even be like in the top 3 weirdest ones. Maybe one day we could do like a segment where I can talk about old Brazilian children's TV shows. But then again, I'm not entirely sure. I might give everyone nightmares, especially about Fofão. Oh god, Fofão. Why Fofão? Why? Why is Fofão? Why does Fofão have to exist? God damn it, Fofão. God damn it. Anyways. Thank you for the pet, Lunatic. There were just so many things. So many weird things on old Brazilian TV. Oh yeah. You wanted me to talk about the Alita Battle Angel movie, right? What do I think about it? So first of all, I watched a significant part of it. I didn't go to watch it in the movies because at first I was very hesitant because I am very fussy when it comes to the lore of it. Ooh, so much lore. I know Reddy's eating panties again. And like... the fact that it's Scarlet Alita does bother me a little bit. It does, unfortunately. It shouldn't, but it does. And there is a good reason for it, but I'll get to that later. The main point is I took my sweet ass time before actually watching this movie, and I ended up catching it on TV the other day. Honestly, especially considering how, I don't know, video game adaptations are dealt with, right? I don't even remember, have I ever seen a movie adaptation of an anime before? Like Speed Racer, and that was about it? By the way, Speed Racer feels like a very, 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 very bad acid trip with the visuals. But I guess it's pretty accurate to what the cartoon was like. And Netflix adaptations, that is true. That is true. There were the Netflix adaptations. Boy. Like, Netflix wanting to adapt Avatar The Last Airbender, though. There was... It's kind of funny, because it's like the best ploy ever and the worst ploy ever at the same time. Because technically after the Shyamalan version of Avatar The Last Airbender, where the Earthbenders made Rockies go floaty very slowly towards people, and that was supposed to be an attack and you're supposed to take that seriously, the bar was pretty low. But at the same time, Avatar The Last Airbender's fans are very rabid of it being like the best piece of media that was ever made. So while the bar was pretty low, the bar was also pretty high, and I find that hilarious because it's a battle that you have already won and a battle you have already lost. It's kind of amazing. I hear the One Piece adaptation is surprisingly good. It helped a lot of people who didn't get into One Piece or were too intimidated by the sheer size of One Piece to actually get into One Piece, which I think is like the best case scenario for an adaptation of anything. I wonder if that's still going. I never actually watched it though, so not gonna talk too much about it. I hear the Cowboy Bebop one was pretty bad too. But anyways, Battle Angel Alita. Battle Angel Alita. We're talking about Battle Angel Alita. So I watched it. There were plenty of plot beats that I recognized. Now people can watch all 1000 episodes of the anime. Or they can wait for the adaptation to release a summed up version of them. I've been following the manga for such a long time, but I don't know if it's because of the manga or if it's because of the mangaka's art style. But like the arc in non-Japan, I forgot what the name of the place was that was pretty much Japan. Like, I couldn't tell the characters apart anymore. There were so many of them, and it was driving me crazy. There was just so many of them, and I could no longer tell apart who was who. This is probably the part where the anime just wins outright, because the anime has colors, where the manga is black and white. So, because unfortunately, the mangaka's art style is great and all, but also it does draw a few characters with similar faces. Like if you're like watching the anime and one of the guys has pink hair and the other guy has red hair and the other guy has green hair, they're very easy to tell apart. But if they're all black and white and it's the same hue because it's all black and white, it becomes much harder to figure out who is who. So I stopped following the manga. I also stopped following the manga because I had a kind of a difficult situation. Because basically how it used to work is I used to go to this comic book shop when I was younger, and I would buy all my manga there. And the owner of the comic book shop, he would take in orders. And the women's get upgrades. They do. They do. They became very upgraded. They become so upgraded that some of them actually look like different people. Nami looks so different right now than she did in the first season. It's quite amazing. In so many different ways too. I'm not just talking about chest side, but that definitely that grew somehow. That definitely became bigger. Here we go. Although that is kind of commendable, come to think of it, because a lot of series will go like, oh, you have, here's the girl, here's her one outfit, and that's it, we're done. I don't need to work on her design any further. You know what other manga did that, where the girl had evolving design? Dragon Ball. Bulma? Every time there was a new season, Bulma had a different hairstyle, had different clothes. Like, I feel like Toriyama really liked her. I feel like Toriyama just really, really liked her. Even if he made her say some unhinged shit now and again. But that's because, like, there were certain sensitivities that people just didn't had when it was being published. Like, there was one bit in the original Dragon Ball where Bulma looks to Goku grown up, and she married with Chi-Chi, and she goes like, damn, missed my shot there. So yeah, technically there is a canon scene in Dragon Ball Z where Bulma regrets not grooming Goku. Why do I remember these things? These are best left forgotten. Why do I remember these things? God damn. But yeah, she marries Cooler Goku, aka Vegeta. So it's all good. Because these are the things you remember. I know. I know. This is a curse. This is absolutely a curse. Also, I just realized... What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something different. Vegeta is cool. Vegeta is very cool. he oscillates between being the simplest character in the world and being the most complicated character in the world. Because he is all about the fighting. My favorite Risk of Rachel character alongside Red Mist. Ah, every mod is canon, right? Every mod is canon. Yeah, so I just realized something. I did all this work in this piece, and I could have transferred all this work to all the other 4 spots. Chrono Trigger is good. Honestly, though, those 2 characters are the most fun to me. That is good. That is good. And goddamn, Chrono Trigger, such a good everything. Like goddamn. Goddamn Chrono Trigger, why is so goat? Why are you so goat, Chrono Trigger? What the heck? You can't let other games be a little bit goated too. You just gotta be the goat of everything, but that's true. It's just too good. It's just too good. And the fact that it's also drawn by Toriyama is also another beautiful thing. Team 4 Startup Vegeta is great. True. True. I like how the abridged the Dragon Ball abridged is funny, but at the same time very true to the spirit of the characters. Like, if Toriyama wasn't trying too hard to draw an extremely hype action adventure, honestly, some of these could actually be lines with the way Toriyama works. Don't know if you're familiar, there's this manga called Doctor Slump, which was a pure comedy one. In Dragon Ball Super, one of the Doctor Slump characters actually appears to haunt Vegeta. And apparently, the events in the Nekomajin spin-off manga are all canon in the Super Universe. Because the whole joke where Vegeta doesn't fight characters that are from comedy series actually started there. Because he got his ass beaten by a silly kitty. For the 12,000th time, I have Slumber there. Oh, hey, best buddy. Oh, it's you. Oh, God. You know, I will say one thing. I believe that it was the Team 4 Startup that pointed it out, and I have to agree. Vegeta killing Nappa was so random. I know it's like to show that they're bad guys, but like they are already like a nearly extinct breed. Literally killing another Saiyan was like just not, you know, just not. Unless Vegeta is like, it's okay, I'm just gonna get all the ladies for myself and repopulate the Saiyan race alone. Which, like, goddamn, Vegeta, goddamn. Okay. So we do this. Yeah. I think I can pick these up by myself. Infor Stars gave Vegeta a reason to kill Nappa, then later brought him back through funny technicality. Ah, yeah. The Ghost Nappa. Ghost Nappa was great. Hey, Vegeta! Hey, Vegeta! 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 Hey! Hey, Vegeta! Vegeta! That was great. And man, I can't keep myself on topic, can I? I think I was supposed to talk about the movie. Oh well, we can talk about this too. Yeah, all good. Hey, Lila. I was talking about Hollywood Nappa, but Ghost Nappa too. I don't think I have watched that far into the series. Interesting. Like, it's been a very long time since I checked the Abridged series, actually. It seems I have more stuff to look into. Heck, we could even do it on Scuff Day. We could even do it on Scuff Day. Interesting. What is going on here? Why is this a thing? I see. It ended before the Buu Saga. Hell yeah. Ah. So they never did the Buu Saga, but they did the Cell Saga. Interesting. Interesting. You know, it's funny. There's a lot of jokes about Goku being a lousy father. And they are all true. But also, for a Saiyan, he's a great father. It's where he comes from. Babies are just thrown into capsules and sent to outside planets so people don't have to hear them cry. He didn't perpetuate that. He didn't go to Gohan and be like, now you're gonna have to commit a genocide, just like my father wanted me to. Then they uploaded a compilation of very bits where they did the Buu Saga, but never fully did. It died, moving on to other things. Ah, I see. Yeah, I got that. Like, they were doing one thing for so long. It must have gotten tiring. It must have gotten tiring. Probably has gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I can't. I had enough Dragon Ball Z for a lifetime. I'm done. I am pretty sure it's gotten to that point. Or even worse, to the point where you don't even have anything to make jokes about anymore. Thank you for the pet, Super Fudge. Thank you, thank you. And it makes sense. Sometimes you hit gold and you get something that's really good. But then there's probably a point where you're like, you know what? Kinda done. Kinda done. Thank you very much, good night. And also the pressure, right? Like, when you do something that people have lots of high regards to, and then you're like not really feeling in your game anymore, or you don't know if you're can still make a joke as funny as that other one, because you can't keep reusing jokes all the time, right? You gotta keep coming up with new stuff. So you're always on the pressure of doing things just as good as last time over and over again. Yeah. No, I can see. I can see why you need to just stop. BRB, alright, Lunatic. Yeah, kind of a shame, but nice that they got so far. A lot of Abridged series never finish the show they are parodying anyways. Like, can you imagine Little Karibo actually finishing? Just the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series is already a Herculean task. Imagine trying to do just all of it. All the Yu-Gi-Ohs. I wonder if Toriyama ever saw the bridge stuff? That's a good question. That is a good question. I heard, not Toriyama necessarily, but I heard that the voice actor from Perfect Cell saw the abridged version. The Cell voice actor saw it. I know that that's the thing. But Toriyama himself, I don't know. Fortunately, Toriyama already passed away. And I'm not entirely sure how true this is, but I think his last work was Dragon Ball Daima, which was released on Netflix and Crunchyroll recently. It feels very Dragon Ball. It feels very Dragon Ball. Not Dragon Ball Z, feels very Dragon Ball. There have been it had a lot of choices in it. That are definitely interesting. It feels like it was like, okay, let's try to do Dragon Ball GT again, but this time let's try to actually make it work. And I'm not even entirely sure that is like a fair thing to say, because was Dragon Ball GT a flop? I don't remember. I think people liked GT when it came out, actually, because they were just hungry for more Dragon Ball stuff. But the problem with GT was that Toriyama was just slightly involved in the production, I believe. And they did try to like do sort of a reset to give it more a feel of the original Dragon Ball. This is also something that's very interesting with the Dragon Ball Z property, is that they keep trying to go back not to Dragon Ball Z, but to original Dragon Ball. Because original Dragon Ball was much lighter in tone. It had a much more it had a lot more sense of humor, and it wasn't too interested in the overly the high power scaling thing that Dragon Ball Z did. Dragon Ball Z did a lot with the power scaling. To this day, it is considered as an example of what not to do when trying to raise the stakes too much, of what happens when you try to raise the stakes too much, or you go too far trying to raise the stakes of your story. And I also remember that there was a time where if you were an anime fan and you wanted to be distinguished among your peer otaku, hating on Dragon Ball Z was an easy way to do it, because Dragon Ball Z was more mainstream than the likes of I don't know, Elfen Lied. Ah yes, Elfen Lied. It's the most mature piece of interweeb animations. Like, no, it was kind of a gore fest, actually. It was kind of just a gore fest. Okay, so I haven't been up to date with your art, but holy shit, you got well, and your picture and animations, holy. Ah, hello Icicle, welcome to the stream, how are you doing? Thank you, thank you. How are you today? You haven't been here for a while, probably didn't see this. Hold up. Let me show you something. Oop. Hi. How are you doing? Hello. I have a wolf form now. Do you like it? Look how brave I am. I'm a brave wolf. I can hold kunais. I'm not adorable. I am very cool. Look how cool I am. This is a reading. Okay. And it was rigged by Lunatic, and it was drawn by Momochi, which is starting to take your character here commissions, because a lot of people really like it. A lot of people really like it. I need to look at the commissions infos. I am doing your character here too. Like, hold up. Where is it? This one here. Yes, this is your character here. I'm gonna be releasing this one soon. Haven't released it yet because I am busy with a few commission works at the moment. I need you to teach me, holy shit. A lot of trial and error and asking opinions of others goes a long way. Dog water and animations. Let's see. Do you know there is one basic principle that is very useful for learning how to do animations? There is a very, very basic principle. And let me think. Like, it varies a lot with how many frames you have, but the main thing you need to think about when doing an animation is... how do I put it? Anticipation. You need anticipation. So, like, for instance, let's say... Think of a bowl. Think of a bowl. Let me see if I can actually do this. Think of an arrow. Here's an arrow, right? And here is a bowl. And this is a bowl. Right? So, let's say you're loading up an arrow to shoot on this bowl. Right? So, what do you need to do for the arrow to fly away? First, you need to pull back the arrow, right? This is the anticipation of the movement. So, you take the... Let's take the arrow thing here. And you can move it a little bit. And you can move it a little bit, and you can move it a little bit, right? And then you shoot it. So right here, we already have the basis for something very simple. You can see the anticipation, right, to the build-up. Now, if instead of doing this build-up of anticipation, right, I just went and did this, this has no strength. This has no strength. You don't feel like the arrow is gonna fly. Right? This is like one of the main things. You gotta make the anticipation. And you can make the anticipation harder. Like, for instance, let's say, on this last one, because we built some momentum, instead of moving just one pixel, we move two. And then we make one further that moves three. 1, 2, 3. And then we hold. But then this feels a little bit too fast. Is your program extra for pixel animation? Yes, this is Azeprite. It's specialized for pixel art and pixel art animations. But now I feel like I went a little bit too far. Because I am building up too much tension on this side and then I just stop suddenly. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go back even a little bit further, but just one pixel. And we hold. So like this. And now, instead of just going back to the original position, we can already make it flying off a little bit. And we can make it flying off a lot. Hey cutie kitty, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Does Aseprite only exist for PC or could I have it on my tablet? So for tablet is a different one. I don't remember the name. Hold up. I think I have it saved on my Twitter. Let's hope I put it on my own favorites on Twitter. If I didn't, then I can't find it. But let's see if it wasn't my favorite. Nah, I forgot. Yeah, no, it's not. I don't have it with me. Damn. I saw it on Twitter once. I'm fine, I'm working on a bow and arrow. This is just an example. This is just an example. See? Chung. Chung. It's about building up tension and releasing. And you can do most animations like this, right? And it really is about, you can use this like a basis, and then you can work around what works. Right now, I am trying to do the .hack Chaos Gate. I'm adapting a sprite I did earlier that was tinier in size. This one doesn't make any sense. So I'm expanding it and adding more details to the new size. I mean, I can probably use Aseprite on PC. I don't need it on my tablet for Pixelite. There is one that is just like the Aseprite, but it has a different name. Building up tension, releasing it? Exactly. Just like Booba. See? But like, how do you know how your animation has to look like? So. Like the movies are perfectly moving. Basically, I have a basic idea. But honestly, when I started doing this animation, I didn't do all the frames perfectly. The first thing I did was the body movement. So I wanted the body to go up and down. So I actually started like this. With just this part. So I wanted the body to go up and down. Right? And I hadn't added any effect to the shadows yet. I just wanted the body to go up and down. I figured how many pixels I wanted it. So in this case, it was 2 pixels. And I wanted the body to accompany it. And then I did a basic bouncy movement with the boobies, right? When they were going up. And basically I did that, then I came back over and I adjusted, then I adjusted again, then I adjusted another time. Basically, the main thing in order to do a good flexible animation is you gotta give yourself the ability to explore. Because like, I did one that was a preview and it was like, okay, it's getting there, but it's not fluid. It's kind of bricky. Maybe if I give it one more frame for it to let and it's all about like the whole inertia and building up. It's like, okay, how much volume did I move to get to this part? 'Cause like the I even start the movement in anticipation. I do the arms here, right? And then I move, and the boobs already start moving in anticipation. Then you have a big movement. Then they follow the body along. And this part here is the important part. It's slightly higher than when it's completely still because it accumulated inertia. If accumulated inertia, it needs to go up a little bit in order to release that inertia, and then gravity takes over, and then you can do a little extra bounce like this, a very tiny bounce. And that's how it becomes fluid. Would it be possible to make a bow and arrow animation like 4 frames? Always possible, of course. Hold up. Let me show. I made that one with a lot of animation as an anticipation, but let's see. Let me try. Let's do that again. Arrow? No, let's go with bow. Bow. Arrow. So it starts here. Frame. The second frame. We're gonna have to move it a lot faster. So at least like this. Over here, like really building up the tension. And release. See? It's choppier, but it's absolutely doable. The principle applies. Like, and I did this like overly fast, but like you can see, right? This is 4 pixels long. This one is 3 pixels long, the difference. So I am decelerating because I'm trying to show the resistance. And then release. And for game purposes, right? You can have a 5th frame of just the bow. Honestly though, if you really want to, you could just delete this here and be a 4 frame for, say, a game sprite, right? Because then you would just draw the arrow and start animating the arrow from the point of firing. So 4 frames really. And of course, because bows work like this, right? You can also alter the bow's shape. And you can do something like this. If you want to do a realistic bow, by the way, this is what the movement actually looks like. You can even like add a bowstring here. Gonna do like really scuffy one because Yeah. Although I hate when it becomes too scuffy and ended up fixing it anyways. But anyways. Oh, I didn't make the bow proportional. That is funny. Hold up. Who it may fall. But yeah, basically, see? It's always doable. You can do everything in 4 frames. I can make if I can make Booba bounce decently in 4 frames, you can pretty much do anything. It's just gonna be a little bit more stuttery. You just gotta accept the limitations of the medium, so to speak. Of course, everything looks better the more frames you put in there. The more frames you put in there, the better it looks, but it's pixel art. Pixel art is all about working with your limitations, you know? It is an art medium that was developed around limitations. Around the bitish of the number of colors you could use, the number of colors that could be displayed at a screen at a time. Yeah, I know, but my game has 4 frames on everything. You know, Kitty Kitty, you wanna hear something really, really funny? I noticed this from like a lot of old games. I don't know if you ever noticed this for older games, but there's a bunch of old games where the main character has really complex animations, right? And full of different sprites. But the enemies they're fighting have 2-frame animations. This happened a lot with the Master System. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Master System. It was Sega's 8-bit console that they first brought up that got completely beaten by the old Nintendo system, aka the Famicom. And then they brought out the Sega Genesis, and the Sega Genesis was like, oh my god, so top tier, right? But until that point, it didn't work. Hold up. It did. Wait. Hold up. I'm cycling through models here. Just a sec. There we go. Nope. Almost. Here we go. Back. Oh yeah, I have noticed that in some games. I want to treat assets equal. I want true equality. That is fair. That is fair. Also, guys, just 1 second. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back, okay? I will come back to this conversation. Welcome back, Lunatic, and now I have to go to the bathroom. BRB. Okay, I'm back. Fun fact, there are certain animations where too many frames don't necessarily make it better. There are certain types of animations where too many frames don't make it better. Necessarily. Those are usually the faster ones. Hello, thank you. Usually what happens with faster animations... Okay, so now this whole thing is like full of runes, so we kind of have to make shit up. So let's make some runes up because... Yeah, this ref is really low. It's really low res. This is a really low res ref. Also, I think I can... Let's go. I think the slower something moves, the more frames works better. Exactly. Like for instance, this idle animation that I made. Technically, her body is moving up and down like 2 pixels. The more frames I put on it, the slower it is. If I did this in 4 frames, she would be bouncing. Literally. Which, by the way, is a thing. You can totally do that in 4 frames. I have done it several times. It makes the character look like they are more active. I think I have an old example of 4-frame cycle. Where was it? Yeah, there was this one. It's 4 frames long. Makes her look very excited. Also, she needs a better bra. Her boobs have support from whatever she isn't wearing. I can make it, you know, I could make it more modest. I chose not to. You're talking about support. What I'm thinking about is that meme for that one anime where there's the big titty goddess. And has like a bunch of followers holding it for her. That one is peak anime. That's just peak. Though I hear the anime is actually not that good. Yeah, I hear that one is actually not that good. It's like a godly tournament arc, right? Where the gods keep... And manga is great, anime is terrible. Interesting! That happens so much, actually. In 90% of the cases, it's not even a writing... It is a writing issue, but it's not what you would think a writing issue is. Is it the pacing? It's usually the pacing. It's usually the pacing. Like Notting Hill... can kill an anime adaptation like terrible pacing. I hear there's an anime that everyone was looking forward that got completely butchered almost entirely by pacing. That was an isekai one. It was their budget to show it one frame for like 5 minutes straight while narrating from what I remember. Oh no. Man, that actually unlocks a core memory of this one vampire anime where they ran out of budget right after the big fight with the big bad. So what they did instead, because they had already recorded the voice actors talking about the anime, they focused on this one frame of painting hanging on the wall. And every time they had to cut to an animation that wasn't ready, it would cut to that one frame instead. So you could barely see something of the final fight, and you were basically watching a radio drama. On a battle manga, the entire focus is the fights. Oh god. You know, someone definitely fucked it up with that one, huh? Because it is one of those things, like if you don't have the budget to animate a high-action anime, why did you pick a high-action anime? Why didn't you pick, I don't know, like a murder mystery anime? Like the Animal Doctor House one. That one has a terrible budget and it shows, but it doesn't really hamper the story because it's mostly focused on solving like quirky mysteries. Like the one lady who has this one weird disease where she will try to poison her own son in order to play the role of a victim and gain attention from everyone. Which, by the way, is a real thing. Wait, it was a low-budget anime? Kirikiri, if you pay attention to the animation, if you pay, like, really, really good attention, you will start to notice that the heads of the size of the head of the characters varies wildly from frame to frame. And that is usually the sign that there wasn't really all that much budget, you know? We call it the quality moments, right? A lot of those happen because of cutting corner techniques, right? Or they're just not being a person that reviews things properly, or just being allocated to like lower tier animation studios and stuff like that. It was very common with Cardfight Vanguard. I don't know if you guys are aware of that anime. Basically, Bushiroad, the company, made the entire anime available on YouTube for free when the card game started. They still do this, by the way, but right now the production value is much higher. And because it was practically a free anime, there was so many quality moments. So many moments of like sheer derpiness. It was really funny, honestly. Really, really funny. In Crimson Arrow, most anime was drawn by hand and only touched up by computer. I think if you're going along with the wheels, it stopped becoming steamable and started becoming texture. I think you need more big lines from the top bottom side. You know what? You're right. They did become texture. There we go. They need spacing between the letters to sell it. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Kinda like... Kinda like this. Yeah, no, I think this is better. This is better, I think. How about now? Maybe over here's too much. There we go. Yeah, I think this works. Yeah, this works, this works, this works. Na 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 na. Good catch, Lunatic, good catch. By the way, chat, I hope I... Wait, I did a bad... Hold up. There we go. What is happening here? Right. I need to finish this side. Okay. Because this side's special. There we go. Man, I am so happy to be playing Suikoden 2. It's a game that I wanted to revisit for like the longest time. The absolute longest time. I am finding it funny. One thing I'm finding it funny about the game though is that when I was younger, the pacing of things felt much slower than they do right now for that game. We got tuna spread. We got tuna spread. Oh god, animating this is gonna be such a pain, though. Oof. This is gonna be interesting. Yes, I'm animating this. It does. It does, actually. The main body spins to one direction, and this over here spins in another direction. It's gonna be all kinds of fun. Okay, but before we start working on that, right, I still need to do the base. The base at least is not gonna move at all. Oh. Yeah, I added a lot of details for something that's gonna move, and I probably added them too soon. But yeah, it's probably better to like separate into a different layer. But yeah, chat, I gotta say, it's been so much fun. These couple of strings. Playing the Suikoden games, they are like such core memories for me. And if I do everything right, I won't have to share trauma with you guys. And this fun. Because when I first played that game, I got a bad ending. And the bad ending made me cry. Then I needed to restart the game to all over again to have a chance to get the good ending. But because the internet was very young at that time, I didn't have a confirmed. There was no confirmation that there was a way to actually get the good ending. So I ended up not touching it at all. So now it's a new chance to try and get that better ending. Which is amazing to me. You know what was also really fun? I remember finding a site, a fan site that was dedicated to the Suikoden series, where they would basically let people be characters from the Suikoden series and then write fanfic that was all interconnected. Interconnected fanfic between the characters. It was a very, very bold project. But unfortunately, by the time I found the site, the project was already dropped. People had moved on doing stuff, but I read everything that they had done up to that point, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Too bad. Oh, Legendary Kibart. Hey Rose, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? We are upscaling a pixel art I have done earlier in the wrong size. How are you doing? I did an upsie. Doing okay, just slept poorly? Ah, I see, I see, I see. Hope you get better sleep soon, Rose. Oh yeah, so Lunatic, you did ask what I thought about the Battle Angel Alita movie. The answer to that is, I thought it was a pretty decent adaptation, right? I thought it was kind of a bold choice to actually... They covered like 3 arcs in Alita's story. Not 3, 2 arcs in Alita's story. And they ended on a cliffhanger that showed a future, and obviously they had to adapt that. They wanted to put as much of the show as they could on the movie. And I thought it was alright, the moments were recognizable for me. But I would also not shut up about how, oh, but this went completely different, so... I don't know how much his experience of watching it with me was, but regardless. I thought that every change they made sense, which is... Honestly, it's an adaptation. It's not gonna be a one-to-one. I can't ask the writers to do that, right? So all I can ask is that they make changes that make sense. And for the most part, they all made sense. The one pet peeve I had was towards the end, because I guess they needed a bigger villain, right? They introduced a character into a role that had nothing to do with what the character does or is about at all. That character has a completely different role. And it's kind of an important one too. But I could see that being the case considering who the actual character that fulfills the role that they decided to put the character in was. The character I'm talking about is one Dr. Destinova. That's his name. Sometimes referred to as Dusty Nova due to adaptations and translations. The character is portrayed in the movie as like the head honcho of the big evil conglomerate that oppresses the city, while also retaining some of his actual role parts, which is being a mad doctor. But the thing is, in the manga, he's actually one of the people who helps Gally destroy the place down. Helps Gally infiltrate and tear the place down. He is an antagonist though, but he's one of those antagonists that is kinda very self-serving and ends up helping the protagonist for their own goals. Like, you can't trust them, but they kind of play the alley every now and again. You know that kind of character? the very shifty one. The ones that it's kind of like, oh, you're betraying me. Oh, it's about that time that you're gonna betray me. Okay, I see. Yeah, we do need to finish that up. You know, it's that kind of character. It's that kind of character. But like, I don't know. Can I... Do you guys... Can I talk about spoilers about the movie? Or is that a thing? There's someone that would rather me not say spoilery things? Because I do have to like do some one-to-one comparisons on how the plot progresses, so to speak, in order to get more in touch with what happens. Or who the real villain is, for that matter of fact. Because like who the real villain is pretty... It's like a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. But overall, without going to spoilers, I will say that I like the movie. I think the movie respects the themes of the manga very well. The themes are very simple. Honestly, the themes are very simple. Yet, a lot of people do fuck that up in Cyberpunk. Like, what is the main theme of Cyberpunk? Usually the main theme of Cyberpunk is technology versus humanity. It's like, how much augmentation, how much technology, how much escape from the real world is too much, right? And trying to figure out, in a sort of Theseus-ship kind of way, how human are we at the end of... How human can we still be? Even with all this crap added on our bodies, even with all this crap being pumped into our brains with all the corporate media messaging, can we still find the human spirit? And Battle Angel Alita is very much about that, I feel. And with like the whole thing being, does Alita's condition of only knowing her body as a battle body, is she still human? Is she not human? Has she given up her humanity or not? She has like lost memories. What the hell is that about? All that sort of stuff. And her whole deal, she kind of goes into a journey of self-discovery, pretty much. It is very much a journey. Her journey is a journey of self-discovery. But also hyper-violent and full of brains floating around everywhere, because... Rule of cool. Lots and lots of rule of cool. But like, it still tries to have a message, and I think that's cool. But yeah, the real villain and the real purpose, because there's a city above, and the city above and the real purpose is very important. And very early on in the manga, we don't get to see who is actually in charge. We only have like the corporation being mostly faceless, there is like one big antagonist, which is the body parts dealer. Because basically Alita has like this little boyfriend that got involved into doing crimes because there's this top dog criminal that says that if he works really hard, he can pay him a ticket, a one-way ticket to go into the city above. And it's the Alita's boyfriend dream is to live in the city above because they say that everything is better in the city above. There's no criminality, there is no strife, no hunger. It's paradise. Literal heaven on earth, right? So he was willing to get his hand dirty. He gets involved into some bad shit. They did change the character a little bit because in the movie, he is like more relatable. He's more down to earth. And he realizes when shit has gone too far. In the manga, he's a little shit. And honestly, I like this change. Because my Galgali deserves it better. Sorry, her name is Alita in this. But she deserves it better. That is fair, Lunatic, technically. Project Moons is also a cyberpunk story. It's technically also a cyberpunk story, so it makes sense. But so their romance becomes a little bit more, is actually more believable in the movie than it is in the manga. But in the manga, he feels like such a little shit. And doesn't really have much redeeming qualities to him. He has way too... It's one of those, flawed character. You know how flawed characters are nice? When your whole characterization is flaws, however, you become a little bit annoying, and that was what kind of happened with that character. So I didn't care much for him. I knew he was very important to the story on a plot level because it like drives her to hate the city more. She was somewhat innocent when the story started, right? So understanding why the corruption on the city is bad is kind of an important stepping stone for Gali as a character. So, but like they did everything pretty well. They also cut out a few characters. I was sad by that. Like, because the motorball thing became like a small gimmick. Although they did tease her going back to the motorball at the end of the movie, so there's still hope that she will meet that character. There is one character. Like, the manga is so punk. The manga is so heavy metal sometimes, right? there's a character who is like a top dog of the motorball sport, and Alita wants to challenge the guy, and the guy's like, "You're just a kid. You don't have what it takes," or something like that. And like Gally is like, "I'm gonna prove my determination to you. How? I challenge you to a arm wrestling competition, and I'm gonna put my heart on the side so that if I lose, it will squash my synthetic heart and I die immediately." That's how mad old Gally is. She gambles with her life just to prove a point sometimes. When she gets going, she gets going. But yeah. I said they covered 2 arcs. Technically, they covered 1 arc. It's just that the first arc had 2 halves, and they wanted to include the motorball in the movie. But her first arc is Gally the Bounty Hunter, which was the arc that we actually saw in the movie. Which is divided into 2 parts. The first part is defeating the villain, Makaku, which is kind of unfortunate naming, but particularly in Portuguese, but let's leave it at that. And the romance arc with the kid who is a criminal, which comes into trouble because technically Gally is a fixer. Oh shit, the time. I need to sleep now. Okay, Lunatic, have a good sleep. Have a good sleep. Fixer? She's a bounty hunter who hunts down criminals and dangerous people for basically the big company as a way to debug the system. So the company is like, oh, there's crime happening, it could disrupt our productivity, we'll send someone to handle it for our own gain, essentially. So she's very similar to a fixer in that regard. I don't know if you saw the... It's really cool. There's some really cool guys. There's one guy that has a bunch of cyborg dogs. I think they just call themselves bounty hunting, but they're fixers. They so are fixers, you know? They're absolutely fixers. It's a good movie, it's a good watch. I actually recommend it as long as you can get past Alita's design. It is, I think it's like the biggest controversy sparker. Because they made her eyes to be animal. They wanted to make her have an animal feel to her. And she ended up looking a little bit... she looks fake because they made her eyes too wide. If I watch it, I would just make every single Moon Project reference under the sun. Probably, probably. She is very wide-eyed. But I guess the idea was that since she's technically a robot, right? She wouldn't necessarily look exactly like a human being. Her looking a little bit off kinda makes sense. But it still looks a little bit Uncanny Valley, not gonna lie. It is a consequence of the design that she looks more Uncanny Valley than she probably needed to. But yeah, have a good sleep, Lunatic. Ah, I see. Makes it more rounded instead of oval. That it does, that it does. There we go. How does it feel, Kiba, to be noted by thine own teachings? Useful! It is useful, I gotta say. I am not the type of person to be like, oh my god, my ego is being hurt. The hurt of my egos. Okay, so what I really want to do, I really want to make this a 5-frame animation, because this is 15 frames, right? So if I can make it a 5-frame animation, I can repeat it over 3 times over the animation, and it's easier for me to, because it's less frames. So I'm gonna start with a 5-frame animation, and if it works, I'll keep it. If I feel like it's too stuttery for whatever reason, then we change it. Just tell me what you want, what you really want. I'll tell you what you want, what you really want. So tell me what you want, what you really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. I wanna not remember what the hell was this song. If you wanna be my lover. Oh, as going more, you should be proud to improve me to the point where I can actually see and point out stuff. I am proud of you, Lunatic. I am. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do something very sneaky here. Okay. So, what's our sneaky thing? I'm gonna do two sneaky things actually. Hold up. Let's make it like this is a 2-frame animation. We can start from 2 frames and go from there. So I believe that this hold up. Like this. Yeah, like that. So I believe that it would look something like this from the side, right? So we can do it like this. Also, I like that you think I'm a good teacher, because that means I can give my strings have value, you know. At least the pixel art ones have like extra value added to them. But it means people can learn something from my strings, and that makes me very happy. Like this. And then all the way down here. And then we can make this pop around here. Yeah. You're great, kid, but if you have value, you're doing fine. Ah, thank you, Lunatic. Thank you. Especially as a content creator, like it's the biggest journey is the biggest thing is that you gotta ask yourself if people are getting something positive out of what you're doing, you know? Hold up. Here. And I think I'm doing something silly. Hold up. There we go. Take this one off. And now I can do this in peace. Do this here. Create the line. Take this one out. Okay. And now from this point forward. Oh, interesting. Right. Right, it doesn't quite work like that. No, it doesn't. That is true. Thank you, Lunatic. Have a good Nini. Yeah, so from this point of view, technically, this is the darkest because it's all the way to the back. Yeah, and this is not visible. This is not visible at all. Right, this is where I trip it up and fell. Okay. Perspective. Perspective-wise, this is where I trip it up and fell. There we go. There we go. Yeah, because you only see the massive wheel, and you can kind of see the little... this little thing here popping off a little bit. Yeah, but not even that, right? Yeah, like it pops off like here. There we go. Honestly, I could even ignore that. And now... we need to make the pointy things. Yeah. The pointy things would be circles too, right? That's the shape we're going for here. God, I have singing class today. I am not very in the mood because I am so scared of getting hurt throat, you know? But I think that's gonna come regardless of me singing or not. So I might as well take the lessons while I can. We need to one day do a karaoke stream. We really need to. One day we need to get a karaoke stream. Karaoke stream going. The problem is I have no idea how to do one of those. I don't know how long they're supposed to last. I don't know if I will need to rest after doing it. Because singing a lot can be very strenuous to the voice. Especially if you sing stuff that's like got a little bit more drive in it. Like say some Metal Gear Solid songs that are more heavy metal. You gotta put the in there, you know. So that can hurt the throat. Ooh, there we go. Sing Children of the Night, including the Valley of E. Momochi is singing that one. Momochi is the one who's practicing that one song. Her voice fits Millie Styles better anyway. There we go. Now we have the... and now we have a beak. Hold up, did I do this right? Yes. Honestly, mad respect to you, Lunatic. I have so much trouble remembering numbers to sing. So mad respect to that. But yeah, maybe on my birthday stream. Wait, no, not the numbers bit. What, you don't know the value of P by heart? And here I thought you knew the value of P by heart. I am being very facetious, by the way. Fun fact, look at how fast this thing spins. Whee! I don't know the value of E by heart, nor do I know the value of P. The value of P is delicious bakeries, baked goods. But there was someone in school who could recite 29 digits of P. Wow. That's a lot of digits. Okay, so time to do some shenanigans. Some shenanigans. Yeah, P has a lot of digits. It's not... I think it's infinite, right? I mean, most people should be happy with that amount, to be very, very honest. Yeah, P is an irrational number. I agree. You cannot reason with P. You don't understand, man. P is irrational. It cannot be reasoned with. It cannot be stopped. But yeah, I wonder if you can tell what I'm trying to do here. Remember that idea? About the inertia that I was talking about earlier? Sometimes it is smoother to make animations that are closer to the end result. Than it is to make like very more detailed animations. So this might be a little bit too extreme. I'm probably gonna have to do more work on it, but we are kind of getting somewhere here. And this is actually something quite interesting. If I was trying to make a 4-frame animation, right, of this, the way I would do it is I would do this one, then I would do something like this to come here, and then I would make a version of this where this is slightly tilted, right, coming back from the side. And kind of like, let's just do, I'm just gonna do a deformation as an example. I am back and got a French Mario Kart to add. Oh my god, French Mario Kart. How are you doing? I'm doing good, I'm doing good. I am trying to apply some interesting principles to animations. So, check this out. This is gonna be just a distortion, right? But one that should be useful, I believe, for our example here. So I'm gonna show how I would do this as a 4-frame animation. Oop, hold up. Should mate. There we go. Now. That's not what I wanted to do. But basically. Like this. This is gonna be wonky, but don't worry too much about it. It's gonna look wonky. Oh, did I do it wrong? I think I did it wrong. Oh no, I didn't do it wrong. It's because... yeah, so like... just Shopee. No, it's a bit wonky, but don't worry about it. Like, look at this. For now, it's choppy because I'm just getting the visual, let's say visual effect part, right? This is also a thing I do when I'm doing animation, is I do something that I like to call the planning stage, which is like I just do like a heavily choppy version of the animation just to see if it's moving in the direction that I want. It's almost working. Now, the important part here, unfortunately, this is 6 frames. Yeah. I kind of wanted it to be 5 frames. Can I do it in 5 frames? Theoretically. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. For it to be 5 frames, it would be like this. But anyways. So the question is, how do I make this look less choppy? And the answer is very simple. First, we add the rest of it. Oops. Most important part ever. See? This is how you add the other side of the coin when you're making a coin flip. 3D. This is how you 3D. This is how you 3D. And now we can do just this for now. And I can just take this part here and re-add it to this side. See? It looks more detailed now. The main issue with a 15 frame animation is... Yeah. We're getting there. So now, what else do we need? It's coming from this direction. So now, over here, I deformed it a little bit, right? So we need to add some more perspective to it. So how do we do that? Like this. We take the parts that the round, we use the rounder shapes for it essentially. So see now they're overlapping each other more. I can make this overlap harder too. Well, just like this. And over here, we do the same thing, but opposite. Because now this is behind. So if this is behind, this part overlaps on top of it. See? And since it's overlapping harder, this part here actually becomes straight. Oh god, speaking of straight. So, yesterday I took the night off because Momochi is very sick. I'm gonna take the night off today too. I actually was working in the morning to make time, so I don't feel bad. Because I do feel bad if I don't put in X amount of hours of work per day, right? On pixel art and stuff. And we were watching the existence of a straight lines implies there are bisexual lines as well. Exactly, Medina, exactly. Goddamn. It kinda is what I wanted to talk about, actually. So, Nyaners the Menace, right, decided it would be a great idea to watch on her stream a early 2000 very, very bad, like, oh my god, very bad reality TV show. And it's like the perfect watch for a sick day, honestly. It's like her VOD was like a perfect watch for sick day. So we were watching that. And it's like... It's pretty much, it's a car wreck. Like, no two ways about it. It's a car wreck. It's early 2000s LGBT, sorta LGBT content. The reality show is basically a bachelorette kind of show where a girl has to choose between 14 dudes and whoever she chooses wins $500,000 with her, and they become a couple. All nice and well. What could go wrong? But there is a plot twist. And the plot twist is some of the men who are participating are actually gay. And if she picks a gay guy, he gets $1 million to himself. So basically, it's a reality TV show that tempted a bunch of gay dudes with money to basically re-trigger their trauma of living in the closet, pretending to be straight, and get a bunch of straight dudes to accuse each other of being gay and just indulge in the worst kind of homophobia imaginable. It is distilled garbage TV. Like, it's so trashy. It's so trashy. Apparently, the ratings for it were so bad that they couldn't actually air the final episode on TV, so they had to put it on a site, a streaming. They had to put it on YouTube, basically. So it is primed to be the worst garbage possible, and it's also primed to make people say some like unhinged shit. Some truly unhinged shit. It is very trashy. It is very trashy. Thank God Neaners is there to make fun of it along the way, because otherwise it would be unbearable. But it's also like, you know that it's one of those like car crash kind of effects, right? Sounds horrible. I mean, yeah, pretty much that, Medina. Pretty much that. It is terrible. It is terrible. Especially because the girl starts getting paranoid, because she like needs to track down the gay man to make sure she doesn't lose all the money. Right? So she's like, I don't know. He broke a guy's arm and then cried about it. I think he's being a little bit too sensitive. I think that means he might be gay. You know that sort of stuff, that early 2000s judgment stuff? It's all there. It's horrible. It's horrible. Dude, the gay dude starts feeling just so bad for both the girls, the guys, and everyone in general, that they are willing to take their money if they win it and actually put it in a charity of the girl's choice. That is how the development is going so far. We have a program called Temptation Island, and basically couples go there, split up, and the singles need to flirt with the split couples. Oh god. Oh god. So basically NTR. What you're telling me is NTR? It's you getting NTR, but everyone gets to watch it too. So for money, you're willing to be NTR'd, while if it's popular, the whole country watches. Man. Man, that shit is wild. If I and my partner go, we would end up, well, maybe everybody. You know, kitty, as long as both you and your partner have set up the proper expectations and you know each other's boundaries, then honestly, props to you. But are you actually allowed to have sex during the thing? That show don't get, this is messed up if you're monogamous, I mean, otherwise it's just an orgy. Exactly. Huh. Now I'm scared of like the TV show like recording it. Safe sex, but yes. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, I'd hope so. I'd hope it's safe. It's interesting, right? The thing here feels like it's working. But this part here isn't. As for the recordings, those are blurred out. I see, I see. Well, thank God for that, honestly. I'd be like, am I in a reality show or on a porno set? That would be awkward. That would be awkward. That aside, I watch a cooking show and some things should also be blurred out. Oh no. Depends. Is it the Hachama cooking show? Because that would definitely need to be blurred out. Also, you know what else was trashy about the show? There was one dude who, like, his gimmick, he had, like, basically two gimmicks. One, he was a musician, right? So he would, like, write serenades to the girl. And the other one is he was really, really into feet and gave out great foot massages. Whenever he had an opportunity, he was rubbing the girl's foot. And there were tons of foot close-ups. Because it was a more innocent time. It was a more innocent time. No, it's best food review show. Chalamet's video, just don't eat while watching. Listen, if he enjoys and she enjoys, go ham. He did. It's really funny. It's really funny. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We got like a really good 3D effect going on here. But honestly, and this is interesting. I think it's possible to cut this frame and make a different one. Using this one's as basis. See, there is one trick to animating here. So I can make a 5 frame. It's like a little bit of an uneven distribution. Okay, I should watch add the goat poo soup and the fried spider video to my watch list. Oh god. I see, so it's very exotic dining then. Very, very exotic dining. I see. Okay, so I'm gonna take these two out of the equation. Man, it almost feels like it's spinning, doesn't it? It is so close. It's so close, I feel. The main question to me is, do I have the right proportions? I think I do. Because if I have the right proportions, it's a matter of fixing what this looks like and giving the sprite the depth that it needs. Ow. Man. I don't know what I did to my wrist. It's been hurting a bit these last few days. Every time I put too much pressure in it, it hurts. I've been taking like... there's a medicine that I take for it that is like anti-inflammation. And it works alright, but I have already exceeded the amount of days that it should heal up. If it doesn't heal up, I might need to go to a doc to see if everything's alright. Oh, there we go. I can also take this here. Well, let's not keep this like this because that's silly. Gotta drop off again. Thank you very much, Kiba. Please have a lovely stream. Take care of your wrist. A doctor can make the pain go away. Lovely spin also, and remember, you're loved and you matter. See you also. Alright, Medina, thank you very much for dropping by. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you next time. Yeah. Have a good one. Okay. So this one, there isn't that much to change. This one, there's plenty to change. This one, there is plenty to change. For starters, we're gonna shove this a little back here. And we're gonna add like this. Temptation Island, man, that sounds really trashy. That sounds really trashy. Oh god. But I mean, the cheat shit is just be poly, and you're fine. You go, oh no, such big temptation, I really do care. You gotta ham it up for the cameras though, otherwise you're gonna get kicked out. Because let's be real, the reality TV is basically drama farming. Drama farming and a surprisingly high amount of misrepresentation, so to speak. It's not so much misrepresentation, is that they do try to push script onto the participants, because if they don't, then they don't get a story. And as you all know, reality TV is completely scripted. Because of course it is. Because otherwise it's actually very boring. They always try to like get people to be the villains of the show or like the heroes of the show. They do separate people into different categories of protagonists and antagonists, and trying to make you care about who's gonna win. I think it's the biggest thing, because wow, that's a lot of money that I'm not the one competing for. Should I really care about that? Why do I care who wins, you know? Is one of the biggest questions that they have to make sure they answer. Hey Camel God, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hello, we're making the spin. I am taking care of making sure that it is spinning, and I'm gonna make sure it spins even better when I am done fixing up this part of the animation here. So what do I need to do here? Basically, aside from fixing the shape, because the shape is kind of crooked, right? I need to increase this and decrease this area. So it does look, it looks better in general, and it gives the effect that it needs to have in order to look like it's coming from that away. Otherwise, it won't give the proper illusion. Because at the end of the day, animation is about illusion, right? So that's why it fits an Asia perfectly if you stop to think about it. I'm using a bunch of tricks to make you all see movement where there are just passing by frames. And I think that's very cool. I always thought animation was pretty cool, actually. When I was little, I would do the little flip book thing, you know, with stick figures. Where you go and you draw them going side by side, right, doing different stuff. The trick, the fastest way to do that, Camel God, and the easiest way to do that is actually very simple. You start at the end. See, the best way to animate something when you're drawing, where you're actually drawing, is backwards. You start by the very last, you do the first frame and you do the last frame, right? And then you go from the last frame to the first frame again. Because if you start backwards, you will be able to copy from the paper. Because the paper has a certain degree of transparency, right? And then it becomes more easy. That's how you do it. Then you can do the flip paper thing, no problem. There was another art attacks type thing that I loved doing when I was little. Basically, you would get these pastel crayons, right? and you would paint a rainbow on a small piece of paper. Then you get the black crayon and you paint all over the other crayons. And then you take a little toothpick, right? And with the little toothpick, you just go and you carve out a drawing. And what will happen is you use the toothpick to remove the black crayon, and the rainbow crayon is right under it. So whatever line you draw is gonna be RGB essentially. It was like a really cute and fun effect, and I love doing that. Maybe I should try to make one again. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun thing to do. Ah, the things we did when the internet wasn't a thing. I did a lot of tiny art projects when I was little, just to pass the time. I love it. I don't know if you guys had those. I hope you did. There were these art suitcases that you could buy. They were relatively cheap. That would come with crayons. It would come with marker. It had like colored markers. It had crayons. It had colored pencils. Came with like with glue and like scissors and stuff like that. Was basically art supplies. Essentially art supplies that came into this neat little case. And it was so much fun to play with. It was so much fun to play with. I would do like little paper dolls and make little scenarios for them. Oh yeah, those things were god tier. Those things were god tier. I really hope those are still a thing. I feel like if those aren't a thing anymore, we have lost something. As the human species, we might have lost something important. I say very facetiously overdramatic, but I do think that those were awesome. They were, and I hope they still exist, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, we're in a very very high-tech age, right? So I don't know if parents have like given up on trying to make their children do stuff that's not related to their phones or the computer anymore. Because like it's funny. Sometimes I do have a little bit of difficulty remembering what did I even do before the internet. And then I have glimpses and then I remember what I did and like, oh, that was actually pretty fun. I remember I used to have a ritual when I was little. Whenever they released a new manga volume of any series that I was reading up on, and it was like an important moment, like an arc had finished, or there was a final showdown or something like that, what I would do is I would go and I would reread the whole thing. I would straight up just reread the whole thing bit by bit from the start. I would take the time to just reread the whole manga. I remember reading and rereading Yu-Gi-Oh! So many times. Just so many times. I did that for nearly every series that I liked. It was so fun for me. I would take a day off just to reread my favorite manga. It felt so good. Yeah. Rereading Yu Yu Hakusho arcs and Inuyasha's and Yu-Gi-Oh! I did that with One Piece for a little bit, then I realized that it was going to be impossible, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, I don't remember this music. Hold up. Oh, this one is pretty good. I think it auto-added this one to my playlist, but that's a pretty good song. This is definitely one of those songs that plays at a very dramatic moment where the hero is like, no, this cannot go on any longer, I will do something about it, you know? That's the vibes I get from this one. But yeah, it was super fun. Also, I don't know how to say it in English properly. We used to have a hammock. You know, that thing that you tie to the wall and you like swing on it and sleep on it? You know that thing? Yeah, hammock. Yeah. I think that's what it's called in English. It's a hammock. I used to have one of those. And like, I remember not using it in the most safe of manners. You know, little kid, hammock, it's bound to be a hazard of sorts. So I would like use it as a swing. Ever heard of people putting it on walls? Well, here in Brazil, this was a thing until when I was younger. I don't think it's a thing anymore. Especially in like more, how do I put it? More country towns, right? You would have a place in the house where you could set them up So there would be like little hooks coming out of the walls, right? Where you could hang your hammock. So basically at our house we had like a little sunbathing area, right? And it would have those hooks there. And you could hang the hammock, and I could hang the hammock there. So there were weekends where I would hang the hammock and just like hide in it for a while, like I'm a caterpillar on a cocoon, and read comics. Read comics and plays with toys inside it. It does, it does. I also really like making blanket tents. Have you guys ever made a blanket tent? When you were little? Man, I messed the house around a lot, I gotta say. I messed the house around a lot. I would make indoor tents with blankets and pretend I was camping. Ah, pillow forts are great too. Pillow forts are great too. We didn't have enough pillows for me to make a pillow fort though, so I used the blanket tent instead. Man, I just got like a wash with core memories here right now. Ah. I remember there being one local part that's like made with ropes, had big holes, and you put your food show constantly stuck on it. And you can see why this causes problem. Yeah, that sounds like it could be an issue. We had a couch that had removable pillows. Ooh, that's perfect then. That is perfect for that then. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. There we go. Talk about pillow forts. I love it, those. Yeah, it's so much fun. Now that actually reminds me of one experience I'm sure none of you actually had. Here in Brazil, we grew up with a Japanese cartoon called Saint Seiya. Now, Saint Seiya was a very, very basic shonen tropey anime where you had these characters that they were called the Zodiac Knights, and they were chosen by the goddess Athena to fight for her against other gods who were mean poo-poo mean heads, right? But they wore these armors, and these armors were all connected to constellations, hence the subtitle Zodiac Knights. And it was very tropey, it was very cliche, it was very budgetly animated, it was very old. So one of the things that they did is basically they did the same thing that Sailor Moon did, where they just shout the attack over a semi-transparent background, right? And the background would like glow in flashy colors, and there was like one standard animation for every attack, and then it shows that the other guy was hit and the other guy goes flying and he goes, or it shows like the character crossing with the other character with his fist, and the other character like and falls over, you know, that kind of stuff. So it was pretty much that, and it was really popular around my time. So I found a way to make cardboard armors, right? There was this one publication on the newsstand that had cut out cardboard, like the, how do you say, cut out cardboard armors for the kids, right? And I basically took the mold from that. That one just had the armor for the main character, and I started making custom armors. So now I could I could make armors of technically OCs. And I remember my neighbors actually loved the idea. So I would make the cardboard armors for them. Exactly, Camel God. And we would play. And we would play Zodiac Knights with the armors. Basically, we would wear the armors and we would run past each other while yelling attack names. And trying to like hit each other's piece of armors. And whoever lost a piece of armor from that would lose. So it was kind of like jousting. Kind of like the weebiest, dorkiest jousting a 6-year-old could muster. Great times. Great times. Because like I would like make claws and shit on the armors. So we would have ways to attack each other. To make it work, basically. Was very dumb fun. I don't even know how I stored those things, but I did. And I was trying to find a way so they would fold into like a position that was similar to the anime. But that was pretty much impossible. That was pretty much not a thing. That could actually be executed. They were recyclable. That is recyclable. That is very much true. That is very much true. Oh my god. Okay, okay. We did a lot of work today. What happens if someone hits you with a fireball no jutsu though? Thankfully we never brought fire because those things were made of cardboard and they would flare up like it's no one's business. But everyone, thank you very much for joining me. This is all the time that we have for today. Hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome, and now we raid someone. Then you could cosplay as the guy in the Mega Man comics. Did you know that that panel was actually drawn by the editor's wife? Did you know? It's true. Alright, I'm gonna pick someone random with a cute avatar today. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys next time, okay? Let's raid. And also, remember, when in doubt, when you think you can't do it, focus your inner ninja. And sure you can! Bye-bye, everyone! Have a good one!